Hi, this is Dr. Simeon Roger, home business coach and network marketing trainer, and welcome to the second in our 5-part series on how you can build a rock-solid foundation for your home business. Now, today we're going to talk about clarity, which is absolutely vital to your business. So many people today are unclear about what they really want to achieve and how they're going to achieve it. And all of us, of course, we've been through times in our lives and our businesses when we weren't totally clear and we didn't know what to do next. The problem becomes when that situation goes on for too long, we really become stuck. And when we become stuck, we lose track of what it is we really want. We no longer can identify it. It's not obvious to us. And that's a huge problem. When that happens and we go into business without fixing this first, it's like driving 20 miles due west, then 20 miles due east, and realizing that the place we've ended up looks an awful lot like the place we just left. So that's why we have to become absolutely clear. Clarity is the foundation of all business decisions. Without clarity, you can't possibly make an efficient or effective business decision at all. Now, what are the great things about clarity? Well, first of all, clarity generates optimism. I defy you to find me somebody who is perfectly 100% clear on what it is they want to achieve in any specific area of their life and who's depressed about it. No, people who have clarity are optimistic, and more than that, they're enthusiastic. And optimism and enthusiasm give birth to an inner certainty, an inner knowing that whatever it is you've set your mind and your heart on, that you are going to achieve no matter what. And it excludes all possibility of doubt. And we know this even historically. For instance, take Mahatma Gandhi. It was absolutely insane for this scrawny little man dressed in clothing that resembled a bedsheet to think that he could overthrow British rule in India without ever firing a shot. Yet he did. Or it was nuts for someone like Nelson Mandela to think that he could ever rid South Africa of apartheid. And yet he did. So we know historically that this kind of clarity generates optimism, which generates enthusiasm, which generates this inner certainty that overcomes all possible obstacles. When you have this, you become decisive, you become persistent, you become therefore unstoppable. But without trying to force it, it's all simply automatic, and that's the key thing. You can try to force yourself to become decisive and persistent, but that's very different from what we're talking about right now. Now, what you have to understand is clarity is a choice. That's hard to swallow for a lot of people because, you think, I'm not clear really on what I want, and I'd love to be clear, but I don't know how to get there. And here I am telling you clarity is a choice, and yet it is. You see, we always function under one of two paradigms, no matter who we are. We can believe what our eyes see or what our heart sees. We can believe what our conditioning tells us or what our faith tells us. We can believe what our memory shows us, or we can believe what our imagination shows us. Now, if you let your eyes, your conditioning, and your memory control your life, you're going to lose clarity very fast. And that's why clarity is a choice. It's based, therefore, on self-knowledge, on having enough self-knowledge to be able to live by what your heart tells you, what your faith or inner certainty tells you, and what your imagination sees before you. And that is a very different way of living than most people are capable of, perhaps because they've never tried it. Now, self-knowledge, of course, is based on principles, and that's what we talked about in part 1 of this series, and that's why those are absolutely vital to your success. Now, there are two key questions you need to ask yourself about clarity. The first one is this: do you have so much clarity about what it is you want to achieve in your life and in your business that if I were to wake you at 3 in the morning out of a dead sleep, you could tell me exactly where you want your home business to be in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years from now? That's the kind of clarity that you need. Ironclad clarity. Without any thinking, it has to be drilled into you. And then the second question: if I were to wake you again at 3 in the morning out of that dead sleep, could you tell me the principles that you base your life and your business on? Could you tell me the inspiring principles and the inspiring vision that goes with them without even having to think about it? That's clarity. Now, you can get the whole story on clarity by going to my business blog at the web address displayed below. This is Dr. Simeon Roger for Strategic Wealth Leadership. Hope you've enjoyed this. We'll see you next time for part 3 of how you can build a rock solid home business. Bye for now.